G'day, Nathan from ACA here, just to show you some more tips and tricks using my own customised multi-level in one file approach for AutoCAD architecture or architectural desktop. I'm actually going to flip back to 2009 just for this section because I'm a little bit more familiar. I've only just started with 2012, and there's a couple of things that are a little bit different, and plus I think I've mucked up my installation, to be honest. So I'm going to flip back to 2009, but essentially it's the same thing. So I want to look at how you actually present your drawings, how do you get to plotting, printing, etc. And you'll see along the bottom here is some tabs that if you're smart enough, quick enough, you'll see are actually my drawing sheets. And I want to show you how to make use of these to get very quick production out of them, to increase productivity basically. If you're not seeing these in your installation, there is a right click option along here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but one of these things it comes up. I think it might be that one or something. It'll come up with display, model and paper space tabs or something, layouts, and all of these will pop up, or whatever you've got in your drawing. The way that I do it, you might use sheet sets, but they're great for big projects, but it might be a little overkill for small projects, and the extra work it takes to swap between drawings and etc. So this is the actual model drawing. It's not the viewport drawing that I demonstrated earlier, the elevation drawing. It's the model drawing where everything's done, and then I set each page up. Ground floor, upper floor, elevations, etc. So in this viewport, the viewport's locked so that you can't lose your scale, and all the layers are turned off and on. Now I'll just give you a quick demo for those people who are unfamiliar with using this. But the third button along, it's the same in 2012, the third one along is where you set how this viewport is set up. Don't set it here or here. That's turning on and off. That's freezing. This is freezing in this viewport, which means that this setting won't change. It doesn't matter what you do. You can see the whole mess is displayed in here. In this one here, it's only what I want to see, and it won't change unless I change it in this viewport. Now, just a couple of custom things that happen in the upper floor. Whilst I follow the this is the old toolbar, isn't it? I bring it into my drawing. I've still actually got it in 2012 as well, haven't I? I just like it. It just allows me to do certain things quicker. If you go up to your home tab and your layers, you can see the same thing. It's a little bit long-winded, but it's exactly the same thing that I'm looking at. It's that third button along, all right? So I'm not showing any strange or forgotten science. It's still the same. Now, after setting your layers, now you probably find it's quicker to set the initial layers because you can use your shift click and your control click to select more than one layer at a time. Once you've done it in a template file, so for example, this is your second level floor plan, then if I use it for another project, it'll more or less have the right layers on and off. So you only really have to do this once and then maybe adjust it, tweak it from a time. The other thing I need to do in this level is I need to set the elevation. You can see this. Now, to set the second floor in my Lisp, if it's not set, it should ask you the question. It'll pop up and ask you. But if you want to do it manually, you can do set floor level 2, and it'll ask you. And in this drawing, it's 2743. It's in millimeters, and that's set. If you can't remember what you've set, you can use the query FL question mark, and it'll pop up with whatever view. Now you can see that there is a level set for 3. This is only a 2-story house, so that's mute. But that level there, now that level there, I want set as my elevation in this drawing. That means I could actually, if I wanted to, draw in this elevation. In this viewport. Probably a couple of other things that need to be set. I would need to actually issue the layer 2 command for example, to actually make sure that it's my layer key is set correctly. For example, this is probably still set to 1. So, but you can actually technically draw. Look, there's something I've obviously been demoing in Nextdoor. Now the other thing that happens is that in my title block, some of you use attributes, some of you just use text. That's way slow. And you can make use of DWG prop, I think it is. No, DWG props. Now, my shortcut is DP. Gets me there quick. Now, what I do is, the first thing I do when I start a drawing is I open up and enter all my clients' details, their name, the lot number, house number, street name, suburb, some zoning information, the site size, anything that I want. So you can put in there, you can add a new custom property and put in a value. This is the information that I want to show. Now this is drawing wide. It's not per sheet. It's drawing wide, and I want this to show up every time. I've got drawing. That's useless. I could add something second there, and it would come up there. Now, how do I get that in there? Now, I use drawing properties to actually create the text. So put some text there, and then you can make it a field, or what I can do is insert field. So if I was to do a bit of text there, okay, now what I can do is get that text to look the way I want it to. Obviously that's a bit big. I would use whatever text I'm going to use. Maybe I want to use title text. Sorry, I'm operating off screen here. Maybe I want to use Arial, or I have certain text style or whatever. Well, I can just go in there and I can just insert field, go to my document, and look, there's all those settings. Client name, file, not that one. There's some others as well here, but project details, all the ones that I set up, street 1, street 2, subject, suburb, they're all set up there, and I can, let's say I insert local authority. Okay, city of somewhere. So that's the field that will exist. Now that's in a block which is inserted for each sheet. You'll notice a couple here for this drawing title and sheet number. Now they're custom to each sheet. And I'm like, I'll need to show you these. What I've done, there is a system variable. If you go to the other field category, now these are just fields. All right, if you're not familiar with fields, go to the other category, system variable, C-tab. What C-tab does is it actually picks up what's on my tab. Now I've used the same twice, and you can see that here I've actually blanked it out. There's actually a blank out over there. See that? If I do a regen, it's actually blanked out what's there. And if you have a look here, I've blanked out what's there. That's because I've used the same sheet tab. And let's just go back, close this. I don't want to save anything. You can see here let's just fold that up for a sec. You can see here my sheet tab is 03 with a space and then upper floor plan. These two are both the same field, and they both grab the same detail, C tab, which is whatever's on the tab, and they place it here. You can say it's not displaying correctly. There you go. So it will display the sheet number and upper floor plan. I don't want upper floor plan there, so I actually put a white out. That's a down and dirty way of doing it, isn't it? It works. Over here, I've down and dirty put a cover over the first bit, which is the sheet name. I use the upper floor plan, and thus I get my sheet number and my floor plan from my tab. What this means, number one, is that my tabs display my sheets. They display it accurately, and I only have to change it if I want to rename something to, let's say I want to call it second floor plan for whatever reason. I only have to change it there. I do a save and it's updated. A lot less work, isn't it? If I misspell the client's name, I've had clients get divorced and I've had to change the name. If you've got 60 sheets here, one step and they're all changed, all updated. Now that's going to emulate some of the benefits you get out of the